back to the Oil Spill. My name is Brooke Niver. I am joined by the Hanson family, who are Jake and Paisley. If you guys just want to kind of tell yourself to the audience and let them know who you are.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm Jake Hanson. We moved to Tulsa about 4.5 years ago, and we live in Bixby. We have a little boy named Jasper who's 7, and we love the community. We're very involved in hockey, and love the Junior Oilers.
So Paisley, I'm going to ask you. You guys were a billet family last year. Who were you guys sponsoring?
We had Miles Clark and Jack Salverson.
Okay, so how was y'all's experience last year having them and hosting them?
We loved it. First, we were terrified because we only have one son, so we don't know what it's like to have multiple children. And then I really had to sell him on it because he's like, there's a lot of horror stories that could happen, and I'm just not sure. And I was like, come on, we need parents. Like, these kids are coming all the way out here. We need to help them. So we took in Jack initially. He was like, all right, I'm only going to do one because we don't know. It's like, all right. Well, then Jack came. He was terrified. He's from California, so he had no idea what was going on. We got here, and then we got a call that there was another kid, Miles, who was being traded from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Being traded, and we were like, all right, well, we got an extra bedroom. Let's do it. And he was like, well, it's like, they're going to be great. They need a bond. They'll be fine. Yeah. But we had those two, and it was awesome. We only have one kid, so we needed not only to house these kids to make sure they had somewhere safe to stay, but also for us, we needed help with influencing Jasper. You know, we want to get him more involved with hockey, and we thought, you know what, why not just have built-in brothers for the season, let him see how it goes, and it was the best decision we could have made.
So Jasper's your son, right? And
yeah.
He does hockey here.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. So how was it with him and the dynamic with the older boys of them playing? Was it just like, was he thrilled to watch them play? Was he excited to come to the games?
He's 7, so he doesn't watch a full game.
Yeah.
He's running around everywhere and playing. But I know, so Jack being a goalie, when Jack would be in the net, we'd be up behind him, and Jasper would spend 10 minutes screaming his name, wanting Jack to wave to him.
Yeah.
And then he liked watching Miles check guys. He liked that. So he really enjoyed it. I think for him, like, we really lucked out with two really good boys. And they spent so much time at home playing with him that in his mind, I think hockey was just kind of like the extra thing they did.
Yeah.
They were like there to be like play with him.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, they never talked. They rarely talked about hockey at home. It was like when Jack and Miles would come home, he's like, "All right, what are we gonna play today?
Yeah.
Like, here's a Nerf gun, let's go."
Yeah.
He did not think hockey at all. It was like, "Oh, they're just gonna come live with us for a little bit. Cool.
That's so funny.
We'll just go watch them play when they're ready, and that's it." So
that's funny.
Awesome. He loved it though. He's ready. He's ready to have somebody back.
Yeah. And I'd say we miss them.
Yeah.
So I played and had billet families, and I had great relationships with them, but I knew that, like, you're always tentative bringing someone into your home, and it was something that, like most things that she has to convince me to do, ends up being really good. And I mean, it was so good. We asked them to stay for an extra week. We went to Branson and hung out, and like, I mean, they really, I miss them.
Yeah. So you said that you played hockey and you had a billet family. So were you hesitant of the experience being like, I don't know if I can provide them to what I had, or what was the hesitation for you? Were you scared that they're teenage boys coming into your house?
Yeah, I mean, so I was really fortunate with my families. They had younger children, and I was pretty mature. But I had, you have teammates that, and this is 20 years ago, have teammates that aren't so mature and everything, and maybe aren't acclimated to being away. And so I just wanted to make sure, like, we, having a young boy, you want good examples. And then, and I would say for me, like, Jack and Miles we really lucked out on, but the team overall last season, like, I was fortunate enough to interact with a lot of them, or she invited me out a couple times to practice, and there were so many good kids that were focused on, not just being better hockey players, but being good people. And, we know most of the billet families, and all of them seem to have a great experience.
I think that the big thing of having a billet family and you guys sponsoring the players is giving them a different outlook. Like you said, they're not just growing as a player, but growing as a as a person. And I think also being in the NA3HL it's very community based. So like you said, they're both from California, one traded from Minnesota. They don't know how it is in Oklahoma. So you guys being able to show them kind of what Oklahoma is and giving them kind of another outlook on life is really important to us. So I just want to say thank you from our team to you for hosting our players last season.
Absolutely.
So hearing y'all's stories about what was your favorite thing or favorite memory that you have from hosting both Jack and Miles last year?
For me, it was Roblox. They were we've got a couple. They were in they were in the living room, and Jasper loves Roblox, and so he made Jack and Miles download it to their phones, and they would sit on one of our couches with Jasper in the middle and Jack and Miles on either side of them and play Roblox against each other for like an hour, just laughing and having a good time. And then when you talk about when we took Miles
how to drive. Yeah, so Miles had said, when I go home, like in the spring, I'm going to take my driver's test. And I was like, dude, we got to get you, like, you have a whole year to practice. We have a side-by-side at home. We can drive it through the neighborhood. I was like, let's do that. Yeah. Well, he learned.
We almost went off the road a couple times, but
that foot was heavy. That foot was heavy on the pedal. But I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, we can look back on it now and laugh and think, you know what? That is a memory not only will we have, but he will have, Jack will have, Jasper will have. Yeah. And we talk about those frequently. I think for me, we had Jack at the beginning of September, and then I think Miles moved in like the end of September, maybe the beginning of October. We were all getting used to each other, and I think they were so excited to go home for Christmas, and we were like, we can't wait for them to come back. Like, it was just, it's so crazy how, looking back at the beginning, we were so nervous because I'm like, what do we do if they don't get along with Jasper? They want to be here. And then come to Christmas, we were like, we don't want you to go. And then we get the I miss you messages and we can't wait to come back. And that is just, I think that's so crazy that just strangers become family at some point. So we really love that. They were so easy to get along with, and we can't wait to do it again.
I know. Yeah, I love that you guys keep saying, I can't wait to do it again. Because the next question I had for you guys is, what can you tell other people, other families wanting to host, what can you tell them to make them want to be a billet?
I'd say, know that going into it, it's gonna like initially. I remember moving in as a billet. That first few days to a week, it's kind of strange. You're like trying to acclimate, but welcoming someone into your home and doing that for them and watching them grow and have success. And there's challenges too. Both the boys faced challenges on the ice this season, and being able to be there for them and create that bond, it's really rewarding. For us it was, it's very rewarding to watch them work through what their challenges are and then have success and feel, and you see them get more confident. I would say for us, only having one child, I could be wrong, but it filled a spot in our family that we didn't really know we needed, but ultimately was really good.
Yeah, and I would say, like, as a parent, on that, we only have one child, so I know, looking at it, I was nervous, but at the same time, when Jasper's ready, if he's going to billet with somebody, I hope that people are jumping at the bit to house him or say, hey, you know what, come on in. Because there's nothing more terrifying than thinking you're going to send your kid away. You don't know who they're staying with. You don't know what kind of household they're going to. So for me, it was a bonding experience with not only the kids, but their parents. Because it was more of a, hey, I want you to know your kid is taken care of. We have an open communication. Like, they have food. They have a shelter. Like, I wanted them to know their parents, more so the moms, like, hey, they're going to be okay. Because for them, it was the first time for them to send their kids off to some complete strangers across the country. So not only did they not know Oklahoma, it was a new team, it's a new facility, like, knew everything. And what I wanted to bring was a little bit of, I guess, not newness for them, like, on the family side. Like, I wanted them to know, like, hey, mom to mom or parent to parent, they're going to be okay. We're going to look out for them. You're more than welcome to come stay with us anytime. And I didn't want them to feel like we were strangers. I wanted it to be like more of a family thing. So.
When you know too, one of the other things, like someone looking at it, like the more you open up, the more they're going to open up.
Yeah.
And so within a couple weeks, I mean, it was like we'd have dinner and then it'd be just crazy time at our house. Like everybody's playing and laughing and having fun. And I mean, that was probably, sorry, I dropped. That was one of my favorite things, was just those guys didn't just go hide in their rooms. Like we were doing stuff and having fun like every night.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think also the important thing is, even though your son is so young, you guys, if he wants to pursue his hockey journey, being able to see the players that he had in your household and being like, if I open up, then these families will open up, and kind of starting him young, but making him think about if he were to go billet somewhere else, if he goes to California or Minnesota or somewhere else, that he's going to feel more comfortable, like you guys made those boys
Yeah,
feel
it will
comfortable.
be an easier transition for
Mhm.
him. 'Cause he's like, oh, they did so well. Like,
Mhm.
you just act normal. Like, it's like it is normal.
Yeah.
He's going to go and he's going to be accustomed to it already. He's going to go and meet no stranger. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to be friends with everybody. So that's
I'm not ready for that. Talk about that.
He's like, I'm not ready to talk about it. The last question I had for you guys, I know that you guys said you're fans of the junior team and you guys came to
Yeah.
games when you guys could. So I just wanted to ask you, what do you think we could say to our fans, people that don't know about hockey? Because I'm from Oklahoma, I didn't know much about hockey growing up. What could we use to push fans to come and watch these boys play?
Well, I think, right now the NHL playoffs are going on, and, playoff hockey is always the best, I think. Guys are going, all out trying to win a cup, and, they're hitting, they're getting gritty. And when you come to a junior Oilers game, like, granted, they're not in the NHL, but they're all trying to make it to the next level, whether that be the next level of junior or get to college, whatever, and they're trying to get noticed. So in pro sports, sometimes, especially if you've got a big contract, you might not play as hard as you can every game. Like, it's a long season, right? Well, these young guys are out there working their butts off every night, and they're finishing checks. They're fighting. They're going hard to the net and battling. And it's really fun. You come and watch it live, and the atmosphere gets going, and you see them start kind of getting antsy with each other, and it's really fun. And two, I'd say, Tulsa is blessed to have Wee Street, which is absolutely beautiful. I coach our 18U junior Oilers, and we were all over the country. I've been tons and tons of rinks, and I mean, this has to be one of, if not the absolute nicest facility in the country right now. And so you come here, like we'd always come, show up early, have dinner, and then go watch the game and have a great time. And I mean, it's honestly, it's one of my favorite things to do. Not just because we know the boys and I love hockey, but it's a great atmosphere. What do you think?
Yeah, and I mean, as a parent, I look at it as a parent, like our kids are out there, like come support them, like that should, not only is it fun, it's a new facility, there's tons of stuff to do around here, the food is awesome, people are great, but at the same time, I look at them as kids, as our kids, and as a parent, if you have kids, you want to support them no matter what, and so not that being just another reason, right? Just coming to support their dreams and help them feel like all their hard work is paying off. Bring the crowd in, like he said, get them going, help them get to the next level. Yeah.
It's great till they start going hard to the net on Jack, and she's yelling. I'm like,
Well,
She's like, that's my son, kind of. My
that's
adopted
kind
son.
of my kid for the season. So
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
I got you. Just being protective of your children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me on the oil spill today. And thank you from our team for hosting our Crazy Boys, two of the Crazy Boys from last
Absolutely.
We
season.
love it. No, thank y'all for having us, and we can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. So make sure to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow our socials to stay up to date with the oil spill.